Today we're gonna be decorating lighters. I have 3 that we're gonna decorate today. I've been seeing these like all over Pinterest and some of them on Instagram. So yeah, so I'll go over the materials that you need and then we'll get started. So for this, you can pretty much use like whatever materials you want, but the ones that you're probably going to need are tin foil, okay? And then you're also gonna need some clay. This is air dry clay, so you don't have to cook it like polymer clay or anything. So I think that's nice. And then also just like decorations. So I got some little rhinestones at the dollar store, some letter beads, some like colored letter beads. And then also tape you're gonna need to make the actual like holder, and then 2 different sets of beads. And then of course, if you're making a lighter holder, you're gonna need the lighters that you're making the holders for. So step 1 is going to be to get some tin foil, cut it about the length of your lighter. Easier said than done. Okay, so with the aluminum foil strip, you're just going to take one of the lighters and wrap it around a couple times. And then you can just kind of rip it. And then you're going to just tape it. And this is just going to help give your case like the shape, I guess, and keep it from not sticking to the actual lighter itself. So just like a little piece of tape. I already lost the edge. And then I'm just going to fold in like the extra length on the bottom, like that. And then there's one kind of like base done. So I'm going to do that for the other 2. And then we're going to wrap that in clay. Okay, now all 3 have been taped in and wrapped in tin foil. So my next step is going to be to wrap them around the sides and on the bottom in clay. This is what my clay looks like. It's a bit dry, so if you want, you can add water to it probably. Yeah, so then I'm just going to start like flattening it out, kind of stretching it, working it into like a kind of like triangle shape, and then, or sorry, a rectangle shape. I know my shapes. And then I'm gonna wrap it around the actual lighter. Okay, I ended up grabbing a roller because this is what I'm working with. I just put clay on like a cutting board, and then I'm gonna roll it to get it like smooth and thin because I don't want it to be like a super thick case because I don't want it to take forever to dry. So the clay's kind of sticking to my roller, so I'm just gonna put some parchment paper on top of it and then roll it. I'll show you what that looks like. So like, this is my clay here. So I just put like the parchment paper on it, and then I'm rolling it like this. Ta-da! So now with this, I'm just gonna add some water to smooth it kind of like that. And then I'm gonna take my first lighter and then kind of measure how much I need, and then I'm gonna get a knife and then kind of cut like how much I need so I'm not wasting it or messing it up. Okay, now I'm gonna try and peel that away. I probably should have put parchment paper under the clay as well, but I did not think that far ahead. Okay, I've kind of got it rolled up. Now I'm just adding clay on the bottom. I'm definitely gonna do a different method, I think, for the next 2. Well, definitely the next 1. I think I'm gonna make 2 regularish ones. I know what I wanna do for 2 of them. Okay, number 1 is done. I kind of just threw beads in it. Kind of like has like a terracotta-ish. So, it's definitely bedazzled. Okay, I took a little break, but this is the finished product. I pretty much just put beads where I wanted to and like little gems and then my name. And then like for the end, I just put beads on like the parchment paper and then rolled the lighter in it. And then this one was a lot harder to make. I'm gonna flip you around. Okay. A little fish. I made a little fish. So it just has to dry, and then I'm gonna paint it some really fun colors. But yeah, pretty proud of that one. Really excited for it to turn out. And I don't know what I'm gonna do for the last one, so I'm gonna save it for another day. But I'll come back tomorrow and I'll show you what my finished lighter looks like once the clay is dry, and then I'll show you how I'm gonna paint the fish. Okay, so I let the clay dry, and very unfortunately, I think I used the wrong clay. I need like polymer clay. I used like terracotta clay. So the beads are like falling off, the clay is cracking. This is a fail, okay? And this is my beautiful fish, okay? Also cracking, another fail. So I guess thanks for watching. This is another what to not do. I'm gonna try again with polymer clay. If you watched this far, congratulations. But